Below are two questions regarding the sine rule that could appear on the GCSE higher tier paper. So the first question we have is to find a missing side. So when we're using sine rule, the sides go on the top and the angles go along the bottom. What you can do is if you're working out a missing angle, is reverse those to be sine A over A, sine B over B, and sine C over C. So the first step is we need to label the angles and sides that we know. So we're going to call X A, and the opposite angle to that would also be called A. Now, in this case, we don't have that angle, but we can work it out because you know the angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, the value of this angle would be 30 degrees. I'm then going to label 8 centimeters as B, which means the opposite angle is B. Now, you only need to know 2 pairs of these. You don't need to know the values of C as well. So we can start to set up our question. So for this one, we can do X over sine 30 is equal to 8 over sine 70. And we can rearrange that to make X the subject. So we multiply both sides by sine 30. Now, the next step is just to type this into our calculator to find our solution for X. And our solution to that is X is equal to 4.26. Now for the second question, again, we want to find out the value of X. So we can call this angle A, and the opposite side would also be called A. We can call the 75-degree angle B, and the opposite side also would be B. We can substitute those into the sine rule. Again, just remember that we can reverse those. So we can have the numerator on the top, the numerator onto the bottom and the denominator onto the top. So we would have sine X over 6 is equal to sine 75 over 10. Again, we rearrange to make sine X the subject. So we get sine X is equal to sine 75 over 10, all multiplied by 6. And then if we want to find the value of X, we need to use the inverse of sine, which is sine minus 1. So X is equal to sine minus 1. Then inside our bracket, sine 75 over 10 times by 6. Again, it's just a case of typing that into our calculator, and we get a solution for X as 35.42 degrees.